So here I have a 36 Bay 4U. I would call it a JBOD enclosure. You could use it for also a server, like you could put a motherboard in there. There are standoffs in there for it, but for me, my main purpose of this case that I have here is to use it as a JBOD enclosure. I know I mentioned in previous videos that I will be using this to replace this case over there, but yeah, and this is the case that I was talking about. But after having seen the inside, I already checked what's inside, and I know that I was talking about using a different motherboard that I will be installing, but actually I decided to replace between those two. Like this motherboard was in my workstation. This is what used to be my workstation build, but as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, that motherboard that I featured on so many videos is in there right now. I decided to put it in there because quite frankly, I'm trying to sell this desk that you see here, the Leon Lee DK04F. And I want to sell it with this machine, so yeah, because I don't really need it, and I decided to use this as my server. This is going to be my server, like my storage server, just a virtual lab kind of server. This puppy could hold up to 36 cores. Like the most core CPU that it could hold is the 2696 V3. So it could hold two of them, and each of them has like 18 cores, which totals in 36 cores and 72 threads. But right now I don't have this CPU. I have the 2673 V3 installed here. It's a 12 cores CPU, so I have 24 in total since I have two of those here. And yeah, I will be replacing this cooler. I bought another Snowman cooler. This is the Snowman BM6000 BK. So I've ordered another one like that, so this will go as well. I'm just keeping it right now so the CPU won't be exposed. Yeah, so let's get back into this case over here. So after a close inspection, I saw that this would fit. The motherboard would fit, but there won't be much room for the SAS expanders that I want to use it in, and I don't want to use the PCI connectors over here. I have different plans for these, so I don't really want to use those. So I think this would be better used as a JBOD expansion, like a direct attached storage. And this will be remaining as the server. This one is a 26 Bay 4U case. It has more than enough room to host this this one because it doesn't have a lot of hard drives in it. Like, it doesn't have the same capacity as this one has. It has 26. It could host 26, but let's just say it will be much simpler to put like the extended ATX motherboard that I have over there. By the way, this is the Huananzi X99TAD. This is the model number of that motherboard, if you're wondering. So yeah, I know that there will be plenty enough space in this case to put the SAS expanders that I want to be using it. And this would be a JBOD enclosure, so there will be no motherboard in there. Will just be like a PSU, a power supply, the SAS expanders, and the fans and the fan controller, something like that. This is a 10-way fan controller. You just connect one. You don't even have to connect it to the motherboard, but they give you a chance, like they give you an opportunity to do so with this cable. That way you can control the speed. I don't really care for the speed. I'm just gonna give it Molex. I'm just gonna give it power, and fans can run like 100%. That's not a problem for me. So I'm going to be opening the side panels right now, the top panel over here, and we'll take a closer look. But as you can see, it came a little bent over here. I think it was damaged in shipping. which is unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. It's still a beautiful case. I mean, looks good. And to be honest, it's kind of cheap made. It's cheap metal. It's not like top of the line, but I'll make use of it. It's fine. I just needed to host 36 hard drives along with 26. That will total in 62 hard drives, which is an insane amount. It would be an insane virtual lab, like a storage server. Crazy. Like I could host like whatever I want on it, but I am thinking like I could even take it further than 36 on this one, and also over there, because let me show you what I have. Let me just show you what I mean by that. Over here, wait a minute, let me just turn on the light, it's too dark. Okay, so over here, let me take it out of the bag, first of all. Over here I have like this adapter that I featured on some other videos, I think. I don't think so, I don't think I featured it, but this puppy could hold a 3.5 inch hard drive on this part here, and on the top here it could host another two, either SSDs or 2.5 inch laptop hard drives, the 5400 RPM ones. So like I could use like on the enclosure that I'm planning to do, I could like easily put like 4 to 5 adapters like that. So that's another 4 3.5 inch hard drives, and well, double that with the 2.5. So we could reach a psychotic amount of hard drives in there. So I think we could push it further, because fact of the matter is it's not gonna have any motherboard in it, so it will have the space to use those PCI covers, and we have 7 of those. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 of those. So I could put at least 4 of those adapters that you saw over there, because within the gap, you know, like you would need like a room between each other, because 3.5 does take it has thickness and everything. So I think I could take it up to more than 36. So this would be perfect for an enclosure. And to be honest, like if I put a system over here with the 36 hard drives, I would need like at least like 1300 watts PSU, which I don't have at my disposal right now. The 1250 watts hard PSU that I have is bad, like I can't use it. I will be having to replace it right now. The good power over there is busted. It won't turn on its own, so it's kind of hard to use it. So I'll have to replace it with the Corsair HX 1000 watts. So the 26 hard drives, the 26 Bay hard drives chassis with the system would be able to handle that pretty easily. Well, I would say it would be able to handle that with 1000 watts. But this thing, I don't think so. It would overload, and yeah, I don't want to put my system in jeopardy, especially the drives. So yeah, you might ask like, why do I need all these things and all that? Well, I'm planning to do some Chia mining, to be honest, and I'm hosting some things, Plex server, and like my family has a VHS tape. I created a server for them to access those recordings, so I'm hosting that for them, and they have plenty of videos for that. I did a really big project, so like turning these VHS tapes into digital. So yeah, so let's take a close look. I'm gonna take the top panel off, and we'll take a closer look inside. Well, that's how it looks on the inside. I assembled the handles that came with it, but trust me when I say that whoever designed this case is a freaking idiot, because he didn't map the holes correctly, or I really don't know how to install them. They didn't provide any instructions or anything. It's an off-the-shelf product, really. They just created it like right on the spot, so I only managed to screw one screw. So It's just for show. Like, I'm not even gonna try to touch the handles or anything. I'm just gonna lift it from the middle or something. This is just for show because only one screw holds it in place. But that's what the inside looks like. It has 3 cages. Each of them has 12 bays. Like, you can host 12 hard drives in each of them. So that's 12, 24, 36. And over here you have room for 3 fans. You have the front IOs, which I'm not going to be using because I'm not going to have any motherboard in this. I'm not going to have any motherboard in this build, so it's pretty pointless. I would have gotten like one of those JBOD power boards, but those are way too expensive. I'm not gonna even bother like even trying to look for one. Like, if I'll see one on sale, sure, why not? So yeah, but like, if I'm not, like, what I'm probably gonna do is getting that paperclip, not paperclip, like I made a video about the 24 tester, so there are a few of those with an on and off button, so I would need those. I will buy something like that. Probably it costs like $2 or some shit, so that'll be more than enough. So I would really not need those, and to be honest with you, even if I had a motherboard over here, I don't think it would reach, because look at the cable. I mean, yeah, it's really a long way. I just hope the SATA connectors would reach here. If not, I'm in big trouble. But I know there are splitters and all sorts of things, so we'll see how it goes. Right now I don't even have to worry about it. It's just a JBOD expansion. So you have the 3 cages here. They hold 36, 3 120 millimeter fan placement. You can mount 3 of those in the front, and they kind of look sick. And you have the grills for them here. I guess the seller zip tied it over here to this part, and you won't need the grills on this part, but you just didn't want to mount them over here. It's fine. So on this part I will have another 320 millimeter fans. I already ordered a few of them. The Thermalright fans that I have on this machine over here, they're great, they're good enough. So over here you can actually play with the placement of this fan mounting system, I guess. So I will have to take it a little bit closer so I could actually fit them here. It won't be too bad. I mean, this thing it's not gonna have a motherboard in here, so it doesn't really matter. Over here you have like permanent posts for the motherboard, but you can't take those out. I tried hammering these out. Like, I think you might be able to smooth them with the smoother, but I don't really want to do any modification to this case. It's already modified as hell. So they do give you, like, they do include standoffs, which I'm gonna take apart now because we don't need that. I'm gonna be using that as a JBOD enclosure. There's not gonna be any motherboard here, so yeah, I can take those out. I'll take them out later. I guess the one that doesn't come out, they need I guess I tightened those pretty good. Anyway, yeah, that's what you would need, because these are not coming out, and if you're using a different motherboard with different holes, these might not fit to all your motherboard holes. So what you need to do is get these standoffs that I just took out, and well, there are 2 of them over here, and just see where your motherboard holes are in and what fits with the system. I mean, I don't know, it's just really a tricky situation. These are not coming out at all. I tried hammering them in, but you just have to smooth them over, but then you won't have any holes to fit the motherboard in. I guess it's a fucked up situation. It's really a risk buying these kind of cases. They're not really thought out that well, I guess. Moving on, we have the PSU slot over here. You could fit up to I would say 200 millimeter, it seems, which is more than good enough for me. I'm gonna like have 1,000 watts over here. I'll try to get like 180 millimeter, maybe even less. I know they have like smaller ones these days. So yeah, we'll see. That's in the future. It's not. I don't even need to think about it right now. Over here you have space for 2 60 millimeter fans, just like this case has. I will get like a Noctua 60 millimeter fans like down the line when I actually need to start using this enclosure, because I don't really need to be using it right now. I don't have enough drives for it. So yeah, it's okay for now. And you have the 7 PCI slots. This is where you would put your well, I don't have a graphics. I'm never gonna have a graphics card here. I would use those for the adapters that I showed you early on, where I would put the hard drives in. I'm not even gonna put the SAS expanders over here. I would put the SAS expanders like right here on a mining adapter, like the PCIe X16 adapters for mining. Like the SAS expanders, the thing about them, you don't really need what do you call it, the PCIe connector. They only have it just to power it on, but you could easily power it on with that adapter, the mining adapter, with a Molex, a 4-pin, or a SATA, or even a 6-pin. Yeah, it's just it's not necessary. So I'm just gonna put them over here with a double-sided tape or something, and this will be used for yeah, I might use one for yeah, actually I would need to use one, I think, for what do you call it, that adapter that I have for an external SFF 8088, so it could connect to this machine over here. I made a video about it like a month ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, about this adapter. So this is what actually would go, where it would go to. That adapter would go in here. And I also made a video about that HBA with the external SFF 8088 to the HBA would be here, and it would connect to the adapter over here. And from that adapter it would connect to SAS expanders, like 20 connectors. I would get 2 of those, so I would have 40 in total. So I could connect all the hard drives, all the 36, and then we would have some extra from the PCI adapters that I will have over there. So basically that's the plan. That's what I'm gonna do in this chassis. It's more of a future investment. Like, this is where what I would do in the future. I cannot tell you if it would be the nearest future or the distant future. I only know that that's what I'm gonna use it for. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Like, I might have videos on that, like how I'm gonna set it up and everything. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. So anyway, this has been the video about I would call it well, it doesn't have any company name, no brand name. It's just something that I bought from Alibaba, the Chinese website. Yeah, I really like these kind of cases that don't have back planes. That I could just slap the hard drives on here and just, you know, call it a day. I don't really like back planes. I don't want to have the headache of them like going bad, and then, you know, I don't want that. I don't really like the hot swap idea as well. I like this kind of setup where you have fans in the front. They blow air right on this thing, and then you have another fan over here, 3 fans set up that takes the heat outside, and this is what works for me. This is what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's why I got these cases. They might not be the best option, like clearly you can see, like, this is not the best thing that you can get, like with these two. Like, it's not really thought out and everything, but I would still choose these over the backplanes, because I just think about longevity and you know, into the future kind of way, because I don't want to deal with bad back planes or whatever. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have this kind of headache. So I'd rather have something like that, and that's it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video about the 36 Bay 4U chassis, the Chinese version I would call it, without a back plane or anything. Again, this would be a JBot expansion to the already going server, which I will also have an upgrade for that server with this motherboard and some other things. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you want to see, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, whatever you want to do. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.